Do me a favor and subscribe and like this video. Probably out there on that rock. The water's kind of cold still. Just have to eat a few more of them. Oh man, they would never take it. Do they even boil for real? That is just beautiful.
Good for you today?
Yeah. We're up here in our favorite coves of Cayucos, looking for that lingcod if we could get one. And man, it looks like a beautiful morning as usual. It's a wonderful hike in. I got here before the sun come up, 6 a.m. It's April. It's Sunday. Got the 8-foot travel rod, 6,000 reel on here, my old lucky reel from the Lucky Reel thing. 2-ounce torpedo weight. Number 6 hook. This is my favorite setup. I think that is perfect. Right there. That's there. Like I said, the high-low rig's okay, but I do better with this rig, so that's what we're going with. Got some squid, thawing it out in the old funnel reel. This is the reef up there by the Ab Farm, and I'm out there doing a little long casting, and I was probably out there on that rock for over an hour trying to get something, but I didn't get a bite anywhere. So then I decided to go ahead and just work some of these holes right around here. You can see the Ab Farm up on the uphill there. I've pulled a bunch of fish out of here. Went inside here. I was just working any place I could find, but the water's kind of cold still, so I just wasn't getting a whole lot of bites. I decided to move on down to this reef right here, up by the house on the hill, and work this area for a while too. And again, I wasn't really getting any bites out here. I was surprised with the overcast. I thought, I'm going to get me a fish pretty fast today. So, with nary a bite, I decided to sit down and think of what are my options. And suddenly I remembered I brought along my crab snare. So I decided to go ahead and move on down the coves a little ways and find me a nice place to do a little crab snare. That's a little homemade crab snare. Just make it out of hardware cloth, about 4 inch, 8 inches, fold it in half to a 4-inch square, and tie your string on there. I was using 30-pound test. Probably should have used 50-pound test to really hold the loops open. But came down here, I found that rock, and I could tell there was kind of calm behind it. So that's where I decided I was going to go ahead and put my crab snare. So I figured I'd get another rig here. That's the high-low because I'm going to do some long casting out there, do a little sitting around, let that sit out there for 10 minutes or so, see what happens. You can see I got the 6/0 hooks on little 3-inch loops while I'm waiting. Probably time to go check that crab snare. You can tell I'm a little tired because of the downhill nature of the universe right there. And after just sitting 10 minutes, I pulled my first crab right out of there. And actually, if you look closely, there was 2 crabs on there and one dropped off. The second one that dropped off was a little bigger, it looked like. These are rock crab. They're not Dungeness, so they're going to be more like blue crabs, small, not huge like a big old Dungeness. So just have to eat a few more of them. But unlike blue crab, you can tell those claws have a lot of meat in them. They're big old claws, powerful claws. I don't want to get my fingers anywhere near them. You want to go to the cage. There's the one. Okay, it's about 4 1/4. Got those nice claws though. Rock crabs need to be 4 inches, and I'm gonna go put them in my cooler bag up there on ice. That way they'll be still alive when I boil them up tonight. I always bring in blue ice just in case they get fillets or crabs. Look what they do. Look what they do to the wire. Okay, we're going to take it back down there and see if we can catch a couple more crabs. I made this one with, I said, a 30-pound test, and like I said, I think a 50-pound test would be better for holding the loops open. But you can literally make those things up in about 15 minutes. Grab it. Work the edges around here since we didn't get anything out there. So working on a little crab snare, and see that I got one there on that homemade crab snare. How much they really rip those things apart. Let's go down, see if there's another one, because there was a really big one on there a little while ago. Let's see if that crab is on there. So there we go, we pulled out 2 more crabs. It's funny because neither one of them were actually snared. They're just so aggressive on hanging onto the crab snare. It's funny. Oh gosh, I lost his claw there. Let's go measure him. Look like keepers to me. Yeah, both those are about 4 1/2, and once again we stuck them down there on the blue ice. Get them cold. Okay, 3 crabs. That'll be enough for anything I want to do. Yeah, that was really nice. Three crabs with my homemade crab snare. That should be perfect for me. I'm the only one in my house that likes crab, or seafood for that matter. I don't know. Maybe Hercules likes seafood. We'll have to see. Or like crab. I doubt it. Maybe I put a lot of cheese on it. But yeah, that was great. I was, I had a brand name crab snare, and I couldn't catch anything with it. But every time I've caught it, I've been catching it with my homemade. On this one, I think I should have used a 50 pound mono. 30 pounds seems to be dropping it down a little bit, but still, you saw it worked fine. Excellent. I thought the 50-pound test would allow the loops to hold open a little better. 30-pound kind of, they close easily when you're pulling them out. Well, I was just on my way home, and I'm right here at the very edge of the beach, the Villa Beach right there. And I just decided, go ahead and give this area a little try. It's very calm out there, as you can see, so I just want to see if there's any fish out there. Kept pulling in a lot of seagrass and having to redo my stuff. Nice to see the pelicans. This did happen. I was getting these bites just like this, but oh man, they would never take it. So I'm stuck out there for another, half an hour, getting really tired. And of course, I realized that had to be the jack smelts. Love those pelicans. Nibble, 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 those jack smelts, and they just don't quite take it. Even put a couple small hooks on there trying to get those things. Here's the pelicans I had to disturb on the way out. It was just a beautiful day up there. So I'm going to take these crabs home and boil them up real fast, and I'm going to make me some nice crab cakes. I got a fillet left over from that grassy I caught over Montana de Oro. I'm going to see how much crab meat I get, mixed all up, and fry up some deliciousness. It's gonna be tasty. So that's my crabs after they've been boiled for 20 minutes or so. You can see they're nice and red. And that's how much meat I was able to get out of them. Probably over 2 cups in there. And I took that and I mixed it up with it. There's my filet, my nice grassy filet. We chopped that up into like some nice 1/2-inch chunks like that. So to that, in a nice bowl, we used an egg and some mayo and some mustard and some breadcrumbs. I'll put the portions down below. And we mixed that up by hand at first, and then we made some little cakes out of those. And then we took those cakes and put them inside the freezer for about an hour because they're much easier to work with when they're a little hard. And so an hour later, we started getting our oil all ready to go. It's got to be about 3:30. I want it to be able to cook through. And that's going to be for our egg wash, egg and a little water. We're just going to take our nice little frozen patties there. We're going to put them inside the egg wash and then roll them right inside that panko and into the frying pan. Cook them till they're golden brown and delicious and have an internal temperature of at least 145 or so. And just look at that. That is just beautiful. And I got to tell you, little lemon, cut these babies right up. Woo, really good. Listen to that amazing crunch. That is awesome. Damn, that's good. Try surfing on some of these small waves. You can see it's fun. It's actually calm out there. It hasn't been calm all year. It's just been small crash advisories and wind blowing over and over again. Part of the reason I'm not able to make as many videos as I want this year. This was a fun day surfing. What shall we do?